right back here ringside now because we have Jim Fitzgerald, our ring announcer here. We're live Battle of the Rising Stars. So we want to welcome everybody that's just joining us tonight for our live ringside broadcast. We've got our first fight of the evening. We're going to go 4 rounds of boxing.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Quiet Cannon on the beautiful grounds of the Montebello Country Club, where tonight Ed Holmes All-Star Promotions is proud to present the Battle of the Rising Stars. Tonight's fights are approved and sanctioned by the California State Athletic Commission. The commissioner is John Carvelli. Executive officer is Andy Foster. Physicians assigned to ringside, Dr. Leandro Capos and Dr. Paul Wallace. Our timekeeper this evening is Willie Ariola. Our judges are Sergio Kais, Eddie Hernandez, and Zachary Young. And sharing referee and judging duties are Sharon Sands and Hall of Famer Dr. Lou Moret. Our matchmaker is Pete Aranaka. Our promoter is Ed Holmes. I'm your ring announcer, Jim Fitzgerald. Fight fans, a reminder. Due to the safety of the fighters, we ask that you please refrain from any flash photography during the bouts. We thank you for your cooperation. All right, fight fans, here we go. Now entering the ring, 4 rounds of boxing in the middleweight division. Entering the ring first, fighting out of the blue corner, please welcome Luis Cruz.
Here we go, guys. Our first fighter of the evening, Luis Cruz, coming in from Sacramento, California. Good to see you. Good to be here tonight. We're live from Montebello, California, Battle of the Rising Stars, our first fight of the evening. And Luis comes in at 27 years old, out of Sacktown. He's had a couple tough decisions, so, not real sure if his record really shows what he's got going so far. But as of now, he lost a couple tough decisions. And the tougher of which was his first one. He went down to a guy, Miguel Lopez, who was 2-1.
And now, entering the ring, fighting out of the red corner, please welcome Luscius Johnson.
Yeah, here comes Luscius Jackson. He's the crowd favorite tonight. I got a chance to speak with his manager early in the evening. It shows a pro debut, but Luscius he's been around. He's got 12 amateur fights. He's trained with Pacquiao. He's got his coach Tony Willis here with him tonight, and he's coming out of the Crenshaw Boxing Club. So it's going to be fun to watch this pro debut. Maybe one of the more exciting ones of the evening. We'll see.
Both wearing red, huh?
Yeah, it looks like maybe we got a little confusion on the color, but we'll definitely want to watch Luscius Johnson in this pro debut. I guess this would be one of those fights where maybe if you're not sure, Luscius, there's a lot of buzz around this guy. Looks like we're going to try and maybe get some clarification on a little bit there as Luscius getting his final, he got kind of getting set up over there.
All right, my fans, here we go. Now in the ring, 4 rounds of boxing in the middleweight division. This bout is sponsored in part by Magic Touch Car Wash. Introducing our third man in the ring, Hall of Fame referee, Dr. Lou Moret. And now, introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner, he is wearing red trunks trimmed in black. He is training out of Caballeros Boxing in Sacramento, California. He weighed 153 pounds. His record, no wins, no losses, with 2 draws. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Luis Cruz. His opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner. He is wearing red trunks trimmed in black. He is training out of Crenshaw Boxing Club by way of Compton, California. He weighed in 159 pounds. Tonight, he is making his professional debut. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Luscius Bulldog Johnson. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, Hall of Fame referee Dr. Lou Moret.
Again, Luscius Johnson coming in the red corner with, he's got the crowd behind him. He's coming in, again, his pro debut, but he's had 12 amateur fights. And in those 12 fights, he's done very well. So, it's going to be interesting to see tonight how Luscius comes in. Again, out of the blue corner, Luis Alfredo Cruz is actually his full name. Again, he's had some tough draws. As far as the way these guys measure out on paper, they're pretty even. I'd like to go ahead and welcome everybody if you're just joining us. It's the Quiet Cannon Montebello Battle of the Rising Stars, our first round of the evening. And we got both fighters in the black and red trunks, so it's hard for me to explain if you're just tuning in, but Luscius from Bulldog, he would be coming out of the red corner. Again, I'm joined also by Iron Mike. Good to have you with us, my co-host tonight. How you feeling?
Hey, feeling great. Just watching two great boxers. And this guy's, professional debut, just really looking strong coming out in the first round.
Yeah, there's been a lot of great buzz around this Luscius guy. His trainer came over to me. He was one of the first guys here tonight. Coach Tony Willis, Crenshaw Boxing Club. Luscius coming in. He's got, he seems like the kind of guy who's posed to do well. He's actually sparred and trained with Pacquiao, and that's the Pacquiao from the Mayweather fight earlier this year. So, again, a lot of crowd buzz around him. I'm actually seeing a little bit in Cruz's, right around his forehead, maybe a little damage already imposed by Luscius. Maybe possibly a little blood, Mike. I don't know. What do you see?
I don't see anything. I don't see any blood. Just a little bit red on the forehead, and he did take one of the combos landed there and might have lit him up a little bit.
Yeah, I think possibly Cruz already feeling a little bit of that jab coming in. Again, even their shoes are the same color. So, again, Cruz. Ooh, nice exchange there. Cruz standing toe-to-toe there with Luscius. Luscius Johnson forcing the action a little bit, continuing to sort of push Cruz back towards the ropes, but Cruz standing ground, staying toe-to-toe. Possible Luscius Johnson with a bit of a height and reach advantage, but, it's going to be sort of up to Luis Cruz as we go into the second round as to whether he's going to be able to fight that off. Definitely just a tiny bit of inflammation. Again, no blood on Luis Cruz, so seemingly okay. And we're right here in Luis's corner. You can see his energy level is still good as we get ready for round two, Iron Mike. I don't know what you saw there ringside. Let us know if you saw anything different, but that's a hard one to call from my end.
Very hard to call. I did see, a couple combos that did land from Johnson. He was in the red shorts, but, I think these guys are just still sizing each other up and just, settling in. We should see a lot more come out of them in the second round.
Well, and that's a lot of times what you'll see, we're super middleweight division, and these guys do have the punching power to maybe actually, have a knockdown, but really more times than not, especially when you're, only in a 4-round fight, the second round can determine a lot of what goes on. And we'll probably see that right now. I'm thinking, Cruz is going to need to establish his position. and it looks like he's going to do that, coming out with a nice jab. But Luscius contacts right there with a jab himself, and again, that little bit of irritation on Cruz's face makes you wonder if Luscius hasn't already connected a couple. Nice exchange. Luscius maybe getting the better of that one. Luscius has kind of a double jab that he's throwing out there, and sometimes it's sort of holding Cruz off. Right hand connects from Luscius. Not a huge blow, but another attempt. Cruz trying to come in, and Luscius not letting Cruz in to the battle area. Luscius another right hand. It looks like he's going to try to use that left-right combo to keep Cruz just out of his range, out of his reach. Right hand again connecting for Luscius. Cruz gets against the ropes, but still seemingly not real hurt at this point. Again, we have Cruz out of the blue corner. And that time Luscius is left coming in again and sort of catching the face of Cruz. Want to take a minute and thank everybody else involved. If you're just joining us, Battle of the Rising Stars, we've got JT Media covering our audio and video this evening, along with Cruz Radio, who's myself, with our partner here in crime, Iron Mike. Ed Holmes, Battle of the Rising Stars. Just getting started this evening. And a nice first fight matchup. Again, Cruz looking for a win, having coming off a couple tough decisions. His very first fight he fought as a pro debut was against Miguel Lopez, who was 2-1. And he just, there was a tough decision in that fight, then loses another decision. So, you may think, again, he may give Holmes a little bit of a handful.
Can you guys get these brooms away from the ring so if they come out of the ring they don't land on it?
Yeah.
Can you extend it out and bend it over?
Yeah. Push me out far. Push me out. I mean, I can hold and watch it. They've hit it before. Bring it out like that. What do you want to do? Is that good?
Well, there you go. After round two, a pretty good exchange there at the end. Sorry about that. We had a quick little distraction here on the ring. But going into round three now, after that final exchange, now you've got to think that more than likely, the advantage has got to go to Luscius Johnson. He's controlling the action a little bit. He's making a little better contact, a little better exchange.
Yeah, he's definitely controlling the flow of this fight in the first two rounds. So it's going to be interesting enough to see how Cruz comes out. If he's going to come out a little more aggressive and, start landing some of these combos that he's throwing.
Well, he's going to have to do something to change the flow of the fight because, again, in these 4-round battles, that could be the pivotal round. I think I've seen round two come into play a lot more often than not. And so now in round three, it's definitely up to Cruz to try and establish position. So here he comes, Cruz coming out, blue corner.
Johnson seems like he maybe had some Powerade over there in that meeting, and he's coming out just a lot of energy right now.
Well, yeah, he's got to be tasting a little bit of the fact that, hey, I'm smelling victory here again. And, it would be a big win for Luscius to come out and win his first debut with the support he's got here tonight. It's all about momentum. And there's some guys watching what Luscius is going to do. Like I said, he's trained with Pacquiao. He's dancing around the ring, right? He's Mad Dog. He's Crenshaw Boxing Club. Tony Willis, his coach, is here egging him on tonight. And all of a sudden, Cruz has got to make it happen here. And there's a little bit of a tie-up. I don't think anything really noticeably accessible as far as damage coming from Cruz, though. So I think it's really got to be his round, Iron.
Well, yeah, we still got 2 minutes left in this round. Anything can go, man. Anything can change here. You can change the momentum with just one punch.
Well, yeah, we're down, halfway through round 3, 4 rounds total, and you can see again a little bit of dancing, a little bit of defensive maneuvering coming from Luscius. Cruz doing a nice job protecting, nice job covering up. The exchanges are strong, the exchanges are solid, but more times than not, Johnson is getting the better of it. Wow, Cruz did almost connect there with a nice shot, but again, Johnson able to back off at the right moments and he's not getting hit.
Okay, 1 minute left. Both fighters still looking like they got a lot of energy left.
Yeah, as far as conditioning, I agree. I think both guys look ready to go. At the weigh-in yesterday, again, they both made weight. They both look ready to go. They've only had a few fights as pros. And in fact, they've only had 2 because, again, this is Lucius' first pro fight. But to me now, coming down into 30 seconds in round 3, if Cruz doesn't make a contact or make some kind of a run here, he's going to lose his fight. So there's got to be a sense of urgency, I think, now coming in from Cruz. Let's see if maybe this last little 10-second run here, he can't try and get something going. There he tries. He throws a couple nice combinations. Ooh, he lands a left and another left combination for Cruz. And for the first time in this fight, Cruz does a little damage. Cruz gets some momentum there.
And it looks like Cruz has had enough. He landed a couple of those close combos at the end and really woke up Johnson.
Well, Johnson landed a couple as well, but I'll tell you what, that's just the type of emotional finish that you want to see from Cruz. He's got to show somebody in this room that he's ready to win this fight. And that
Johnson,
right there, I think, at least woke everybody up, like you said, Iron.
I think Johnson definitely looked confused when he looked at him like, what are you doing? Where'd you come from?
Well, yeah, that was about 8 seconds into the fight. I don't know if we'll get maybe a replay on that barrage, but I'll tell you what, that was crazy right in those last 5 seconds where it was sort of like it's probably going to be at the end of this round. There it is. Look at, and you can see actually looking at the replay, not a lot of connections being made. More of an emotional exchange than a valuable one, and that's just gonna help Luscius Johnson because there was no real punches landed from Cruz. So I think maybe what Cruz needs to do now is start that about 30 seconds earlier and see if he can just get lucky and maybe take Luscius. Luscius for the first time against the ropes. And here comes Cruz, just what we thought, trying to win this fight. Cruz tries to connect with that jab, but his jab's been primarily ineffective. I'd like to see him extend that jab out a little more when he throws it. Ooh, a little left-right combination coming from Cruz, though. I don't like that left jab, though. He throws it, drops his foot, and quite frankly, Johnson can see it coming a mile away. Ooh, that was more of a clip across the left, but Cruz off balance there. I think he just got thrown off balance. Cruz pretty much, with 2 minutes to go, he's got to leave this thing on the floor now. He's got to stick, and he's got to move. Luscius Johnson seemingly much less intense. I think sort of feeling that double jabs, keeping Cruz off. It's pretty much his fight. Cruz tries to throw another big left. Center of the ring. Cruz dominating center of the ring kind of for the first round that he's sort of held the center. Here you go. Cruz's corner. They're calling for that final minute. Now the crowd actually getting a little bit behind Cruz. Boy, you got to like this first fight of the night, Battle of the Rising Stars, Iron.
Yeah, just a lot of just a great battle between these two fighters. They just really have not stopped since they started in the first round. Oh, here comes Johnson. With 1 minute left, they're going at it.
Wow, very, very impressive barrage coming from Johnson to just make sure. And I think Cruz didn't quite expect that. I think he threw a lot of what he had at that, and Luscius Johnson just came back. I think shut down his sort of fourth round move.
Both fighters looking at each other. Their arms are heavy.
10 seconds left. Cruz got tapped that time by a jab. And I think, even though it looked like he tripped, I think he did get nudged just a bit. They're going to finish it, and here he comes, but that's going to be the end of that fight. Very, very, very good fight from both fighters. Very good conditioning. I've really got to say that Luscius Johnson and Luis Cruz both fought wonderful fights this evening.
They definitely.
I think what happened is Cruz ran into a little bit of a momentum thing, and there's some pretty good sportsmanship right there as they go, and hammer it down. But I don't know what you saw there here ringside, Mike, but it looked to me like for our first fight of the evening anyway, it's going to go to Lucius J. What did you see?
I definitely saw throughout the fight, Johnson just, he controlled most of the momentum. And so his punches were precise. They definitely landed when he threw them. Whereas Cruz, I think, he was throwing some combos out there, but they weren't landing like Johnson was. They weren't as precise. So I think as far as punches thrown, Johnson probably threw a little less, but landed more.
Yeah, it seemed like maybe in some of those moments where Cruz tried to push, you just, you kind of run into that where you just can't quite get it done.
There you got the home crowd.
Well, as I said, Johnson coming from a lot of, you get around the right people in boxing, and he's been around some of the right people. That's what it takes. And you wouldn't even be here at Battle of Rising Stars if you hadn't done some of that. But, he seems like he's on his way. Here comes Jimmy.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 4 rounds of action, we go to the scorecards. We have our decision. Judge at ringside, Eddie Hernandez, scores about 40-35, while both judges ringside, Sergio Kais and Zachary Young, scored about 39-36 in favor of our winner. By unanimous decision, Luscius Bulldog Johnson!
Well, as I said, not really a surprise to this crowd, but a great first fight of the evening, and that's one for the books. We got another great one coming up. We'll be right back, Cruz, right after this, y'all.